It's because who? What? No, get over here. I don't want you to get out. No, you're not gonna go outside that door. Lay back down, babe. Okay?
Too late for that.
Please lay back down. Even if I beg you to. Who's shaking? Who's in trouble? Mijo, who's in trouble? Why are you scared? Why is everybody petrified?
So you give me a drink.
Can I please move? Okay, hold on. Can I please move through here?
Don't set her. She's doing her job.
Please move, somebody. I'm gonna clean up in here. Ooh, in Spanish there was a they call those telenovelas. I haven't seen that in a while. Okay, who? Who's in trouble, Mavis?
Drink.
They keep telling on you. They keep saying that you're in trouble.
Why am I so?
I don't know. I'll clean up in here. Was it um put away my jewelry. It's not pricey. Yeah, it's not pricey jewelry.
Okay.
Who's who's about gossip? Who's about gossip? Who who's in trouble here? I had enough. Does it look like I had enough? Cause could I walk through here where I've been dogged up every corner of the way?
Leave him alone.
Okay, I feel dogged up, folks. Oh, they have a the telenovelas. I just seen the trailer right now. What? Who's in trouble? Why your ears back like that? Who's in trouble? Why? Am I gonna get an answer here, or am I just talking because I have a mouth? Just because these women are retarded.
You're just talking to hear yourself talk.
They understand. My grandma said, and the dogs understand whether you love them or you don't, which is quite obvious. Either you love them or you don't love them. What's wrong? Bandit.
Leave him alone.
I want an answer. Mm. They're telling on you.
Simple nothing cookie.
They're telling on you about something.
Breathing talent.
How many armed robbers are? Okay, never mind. What's that? Oh, keep talking about no Mexican soaps.
No, you're not watching it.
People say, "Oh, you know what men tell me? They watch it because of the hot women. That's all. They don't understand a word in Spanish, but never mind. I don't want to give nobody any ideas. Who's demonizing? Head honcho, are you demonizing?
Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria. Clean is good. Sanitize is better.
When everyday people get injured, they don't want to gamble. They call us. The
Head
Richard
honcho's
Harris Law Firm.
demonizing.
Of course, we love to stockpile a wide variety of foods. Amazing. But with survival, in reality, you only need three. I mean it. You could literally stockpile just these three
What?
foods and you could survive, 138 years. Maybe not that long. But with these three foods, I want you to understand, even though they should be your
Who's
priority, you still
demonizing?
want to have a variety, different flavors and stuff. But for survivability, it's just these three. And I want to tell you, this is not just an opinion. I'm going to show you scientifically speaking the facts and why that's all you need are these three foods, and it's going to be really cool. You'll find this very informative, by the way. So I ask you to stick through it. There may be a couple things that you've seen before, but to the end stuff I'm going to show you you've never seen before. Pretty neat. All right, the first two foods I'm just going to kind of lump together at first because I think most preppers
It's because
already
these women are.
stockpile these
Help me, Lord.
rice and beans, don't they? I mean, you
It's
probably
because
have
these
some rice and
women.
beans. They're fantastic, and I'm with you. We love lots of rice and beans too. They're tasty. I love rice and beans. They're inexpensive. You can buy it in massive amount of bulks. Not even just like at like Costco or Sam's. You can go to Walmart and get it in bulk. You can actually order it from Walmart, even bigger ones. Our Amish store has these
Babe,
things
you
too,
can
and
lay
they're
it back
fantastic.
down if you want
And
to.
they store very easily. And that's nice because you don't have to really do a lot of extra stuff to store them. So rice and beans are fantastic.
Um,
Granted, on a downfall, you have to have lots of heat to prepare it, even if you soak it. And if you've never actually been out in a situation where you literally have to make heat with wood all the time, it's kind of a pain when you have to put a lot of heat into it. But you know what? Because they store so easy and they're so inexpensive, it is worth it. And they're a very good prep. But what I want to do is between these first two, I'm going
who's
to show you the
massaging my
last
back?
thing you need to
Oh,
prep. I'm going to show you biochemically speaking, as a doctor, I'll show you the biochemistry, what is going on with this to show you that it is true, these three things, especially rice and beans. But first, to understand this, I want to talk a bit about amino acids. And I talk about these all the time. When I talk about amino acids, I talk about proteins. So proteins are it. Proteins are the key. They're everything for your body. The best way to understand that, by the way, is I borrow these from my kids, Legos. So I have
so
three
if it
Legos
wasn't
here.
you
I'll have like
massaging my back,
a little
then
8-piecer. I have some kind of little triangle one, and it has this little square one. And basically, if you wanted to make a new protein, you just take those
Mijo,
different
come
amino acids and you put them in different configurations, and now you have a structural
here.
or a functional protein.
What?
If it's structural, it actually
Oh, they
makes
want some,
structure
baby.
for you in your body. If it's functional, it's like a hormone that floats in your
Oh,
bloodstream,
look at
or
Bandit
it's an
wants some.
enzyme that carries out a reaction.
He wants some
But this
tacos.
is so important that you actually have all of the individual amino acids to put together
Don't
to make
remind
that
me,
protein.
dude.
Because
Please
here's the
don't
problem:
remind me.
if you're deficient in a specific amino acid, which can
He
happen, let's say
reminds me
you
of
have someone who's allergic,
Maximilian.
you can't make the protein. And
I
if you
mean,
can't
he
make a
looks just
protein, you
like
can't
him.
make the structure or function. Your body's going to survive,
Don't
have a
upset
difficult
me.
time, and the term
Don't
is
upset me.
disease. That's why
Don't
disease
upset
kicks
me.
in, because nutritionally
Now they
speaking,
all want
we
some of
don't
it. Look at,
always
look at,
have
look at.
everything we're supposed to have. Now, when it comes to these amino acids, by the way, that make your proteins, there's really two kinds. We have what's called essential and non-essential. And in our mind, we think essential, oh, we have to have that protein. But no, in medicine, essential means you have to eat it. In fact, you've probably seen like on a cereal box, contains 9 essential, vitamins and minerals. In other words, what it means by that is 9 minerals that you must eat because our body can't manufacture them. That's not only vitamins and minerals, but when it comes to proteins too. When we have essential amino acids, it means the only way for us to get these essential amino acids is by eating those amino acids. It's the only way. And just like I made this little structure for you,
Don't
you
upset me.
have to have them or you will not have a
Looks just
structure
like
or functions in your body and you'll have disease. And then, of course, the non essential proteins, those are the proteins that for us, they literally, we can make them. So we may take one protein, goes through a chemical process, and boom, and now we have another protein. And we can
it
do
was
this all day
she
long.
did
And
something
most
too
of our
much
amino
to me.
acids, the non essential ones, we can use. Very neat. Okay, so let's go
And
through
she
the amino
found
acids real quick. This will not be on the test. Don't worry about memorizing this. It may
never
actually look
forget.
like there's a lot to it, but don't stress over that. So first, I'm going to show you these green amino acids listed here are all our 11 non-essential amino acids. We don't have to eat these. We
I
can
still
make all
remember
these
when he
amino
was
acids, so these are not a problem. However, down here in red, here's our 9 essential amino acids. We cannot make these. We have to
bouncing
take them
around.
in through foods. So if we want to understand if we can survive on 3 foods, can we survive, for example, on rice and
That
beans?
was my
Do they
dog.
have basically all of those
He's
essential
replacing
amino
the
acids?
hairy
Let's start
chihuahua.
with rice. Rice does not have this amino acid
Same
right here,
shit.
threonine. So the problem is that that's all you eat is rice, only rice, 10 meals a day, nothing but rice the rest of your life.
That's a good
You will
show,
suffer from a
babe.
lack of threonine, and that
There's
would
a
be
lot of
bad.
good shows.
Disease would kick in over time because you'd run out of threonine that you actually had before you went on the rice diet, and now you'll have disease. What about beans? Beans are limited in leucine. That's a different amino acid. So you end up with a leucine deficiency and again disease. So if someone's on an all bean all day diet, that's
That's
all
a
they
good
eat with
show.
beans, besides the after effects of having lots of gas with it, they would be
Well, they
missing
want
this amino
more.
acid and they would have disease. But this is pretty neat. If you eat nothing but rice and beans, these two foods complement one another, and voila, all of your essential amino acids have been met. Rice doesn't have threonine, but beans do. Beans don't have leucine, but rice does. And now you have all your essential amino acids. That is great. So, rice and beans, proteins, check. If you eat nothing but rice and beans the rest of your life, you will have all the amino acids, all the proteins
Really?
you've ever
Rice
needed
and beans?
for the rest of your life, and you will be good to go. But wait, are amino acids the only thing that are essential? In other words, are amino acids the only thing you must take in by eating? No, we also have to have what are called essential fats, or we also call essential lipids. And when it comes to fats that we must eat, our body can't make them, so we have to transform them into other types of fats. There's 3 of them we're going to look at. Simply omega 3s, omega 6s, and omega 9s. Real quick, omega 6s are essential too,
That was
but you know
my
what?
dog.
There's lots of these in foods. We get this all the time. It's easy to get.
He's
And omega
he's
9s, they're
replacing
actually
the
made from omega
hairy
3s, so this
chihuahua
isn't a
that
problem either as long as you have your omega 3s.
I
But
was
the
also
omega 3s,
cheated out of.
that's a different story, and we have to take a look at this one because when it comes to essential lipids, it's all about these omega 3s. You have to eat these, and
Okay.
you can convert them to omega 9s, everything's good. But omega 3s, you have to have these. If you don't, it
They are
leads to disease. So, what kind of disease are we
producers
talking about here? Understanding about
of
omega 3s, they
manufacturing.
actually literally make up 8% of your brain. So, obviously, for your brain function, it's vitally important. They
Hmm.
prevent depression, prevent Parkinson's disease, prevent Alzheimer's,
What,
prevent
Mijo?
dementia,
What's
they
wrong?
reduce
Who's in
psychotic
trouble?
behavior and psychosis, they manage your cholesterol, regulate your heart, regulate blood pressure, they help you manage your weight, and they manage
What?
inflammation. Are you seeing a connection here? This,
Oh,
this
what?
is why I love the prepping community, by the way, because we prep for the future, but we also like see things other people don't want to see.
No
Because
kidding.
here we are, for the last what, since the 80s, I think it is, they've been pushing low fat diet, low fat diet. You need to get off the fat. You're going to be healthier and slimmer. All this, it's a complete
They're armed robbers.
lie, either malicious or they have no idea what they're talking
That's
about.
why they
It's malicious. So
made all
because
that.
of this, now today we have an epidemic of depression, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, psychotic behavior. Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe it's just where I live. I don't know. It seems to be that
Mijo,
just
what's wrong?
psychotic behavior is exacerbating. It's amplifying. Are you seeing this too? Maybe it's just me. And cholesterol. Let's not even talk about
Mijo,
that. It's
what's
through the
wrong?
roof. And they tell you, oh, you know what? Because you eat this fatty stuff all the time, and you eat the fat on your steak and everything, you have high cholesterol. No, there's a huge genetic factor to that, by the way. But because of that, another solution are statins. How many of you are on statins? And you need to research the
That
problem
was
of that
my
drug
dog.
that's associated with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Cardiovascular is the number one
So
killer.
that's not
And
cool.
we're in a society right now,
Even
high
somebody
blood
else's
pressure, or
dog.
simply
Somebody's
hypertension
dog,
and
you know.
obesity. Not to mention
Remember
product
that dog that was
information. All
following
that
them?
comes along the lines with those
What?
same things when we're talking about specifically these essential fats which you're trying to cut out of our life. And with this, when you have inflammation, pain.
That one dog,
Inflammation
never
is very
mind.
painful. People don't even know they're in pain from inflammation. They just think, oh, I'm getting old. No, it's usually inflammation. And so therefore now take these pills. And they'll always tell you these pills have the same risk the other pills do with possibly causing cardiovascular disease and heart attack and dying. So omega
Well, you
3s
told me
are
about
good.
it.
You want to have your
I
omega
see
3
that so
fats.
bad.
Do rice and beans have your omega 3s? That's the
I
question.
seen her
It does,
duplicate.
by the way, just in very small amounts, because we need to supplement our diet with more. That's not enough to basically bring in to
I'm
start off disease.
surveillance.
So that comes into our third food for survival: rice and beans, and something that's high in omega 3s. So with that, let's look at some foods that are rich in omega 3s. Mackerel, you'd be amazed how many omega 3s.
Mijo, are you okay?
It's huge.
What's
Salmon,
wrong?
herring, cod liver oil, sardines, caviar, walnuts, flaxseed oil, and chia seeds. So, are we seeing another trend? We are fish. All these different things are rich in omega 3s, like walnuts are great. I like walnuts, but fish are so high in these essential fats. They're fantastic for you. Now, eggs have quite a bit of omega 3s too, but fish is like 6 times more, far more in fish. And so does red meat, by the way. Red meat also has some omega 3s, which is good. You get your essential fats from red meat. But we're finding that red meat's good, but you actually get the grass-fed red meat, which is like the really expensive, amazing, delicious stuff, then it's even higher. But fish is fantastic. Fish is a really good thing to have there. So here we go. There's
Mijo.
the perfect foods for survival. Simply
What?
put, rice and beans. That's a lot of people talk about anyway.
Who called you
And
Mavis over there?
fish. Unless you have some kind of pound in the
Mavis.
back with mackerel, which you might
Who
find
called
really
you?
awesome. I stockpile a lot of canned fish, specifically salmon and sardines. I'm a big tuna guy too, but we're talking having the omega 3s. You don't need a lot of it, by the way. Just, one small can of something per day, every couple of days is enough to keep it going. But having your rice and beans and canned fish, I like canned meat overall, but canned fish is fantastic. So that's your recipe for survival, by the way. If you can
Who's
stockpile nothing
demonizing?
else, which you still want to, I mean, at least spices to go with rice and beans.
How many
But
times did you
have
throw
different
up
foods
already?
for flavor. It gets boring in the
You've
talking.
thrown
So
up a bunch of
have
times.
rice and beans and fish and other stuff too.
Like right over
But
there,
here's the
here,
question for
and
you to
back
end off
there,
this
and then
evening.
over
Ready?
there.
What's your favorite fish?
About a
If
week
you could
ago.
have any fish in the world, and that would be the one thing you would have for the rest of your life, what is it? I'm a fish kind of guy. And honestly, up here in Michigan, it's salmon for me. Because in the rivers up here, we have salmon fishing.
I
And
gotta
I'll tell
clean
you,
up.
I love fishing for like
Okay.
walleye. It's such a thrill catching the walleye and eating after, but the salmon are like these massive
Salmon.
things. You have to put up incredible
Here you
battle to catch
are.
them. I love fishing for salmon. I love to eat salmon. So that's me. What's your favorite fish?
Who's
Put in the comments below.
demonizing?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Who needs to go?
Working it with the Experian app, your
Who needs
credit
to
feels
go
like
outside?
so money. Hit check, see your FICO score anytime to find out if you're in the green.
You want to put them outside or?
Boost and raise your FICO score an average of 13 points.
No.
Get matched with credit cards tailored to you.
Who's
And
aggravating?
$1 million by saving on auto insurance. The Experian app looks good on you.
Who's
Download it today and give it a
aggravated?
try for free.
Why does Special K have 10
What?
grams of protein? Yep, that's why. Special K. Special for a reason.
Oh, that is candy. You threw up everywhere. Why are your ears back like that?
The great thing about small hatchets over large axes is that they are
What?
portable. You can often carry some of the smaller ones on your belt.
Who?
The issue I've found with having them tucked into your belt is that they can really restrict movement. You can eliminate this by using a simple piece of paracord. Take a piece of the cord, bring the ends together, and tie them in a knot. This creates a loop. Now pass this loop through your belt, and then pass the knot through the loop like you would with a prusik knot for tying onto the ridge line of a tie. Pull the knot tight, and you have yourself a small loop dangling from your belt. Now you can pass the handle of your hatchet
What?
through this loop, and it will sit close to your hip, but not too tight that it restricts your movement. Whenever you go to kneel down,
What?
the axe moves freely.
Mavis.
It's also dead easy to deploy whenever you need to use it. Once you're done,
Oh,
just
man,
loosen the loop
through a bird.
and pull it free from your belt. You can keep this piece of cordage in your kit, ready to deploy
Why?
whenever you need to use it. It doesn't have to be used for just
Doesn't matter.
hatchets too. I've also used it for carrying a water bottle on.
Mavis.
Despite being dead for years, the roots of a pine tree are one of the last things to decompose. When a pine tree has broken branches, it tends to send this resin into these affected areas to prevent bugs and bacteria from causing disease to the tree. When a tree is blown over in a storm, it sends the resin to the root system. This provides a valuable resource for firelighting. Cut off a root as close to the base of the stump as possible.
What's so funny, Mavis?
You'll know you've struck gold when you see the dark red resinous area on the open end of the cut.
I know.
These natural oils are what make it that colour, and they are very flammable. Take your knife and strip off the outer bark of the root. Whilst this can still burn, it's the resinous layer beneath it that you really need.
What?
Use the back of your knife to scrape off fine shavings of the resinous wood. If your knife doesn't have a sharp spine, you
No,
can
you're not
use
gonna
it,
go outside.
but over time you'll want to sharpen your knife edge, as doing this
Mavis,
often
what's
will
wrong?
start to dull your blade. Now use your fire steel to scrape off some sparks into the fine
What?
resin shavings, and they will readily ignite. They burn for a considerable amount of time,
What's the big
allowing
secret?
you a bit more freedom to place fine twigs on top and begin to grow your fire. The great thing about using this resin to light a fire is that it burns well even in wet weather.
What's that?
You'll notice black smoke emitting from the flame, and this is the
Mavis.
flammable oils burning off from the resin. You
Cool.
can keep the stick in your firelighting kit ready to be used again in the future. Given that you only need a small amount of shavings to get a flame, this should last you a considerable amount of time. As a result of spending a lot of time outdoors in wet weather, I have
I'll go
adapted
to
my
the
bushcraft